So today is a Friday, you guys. Happy Friday. Happy every day, but this is the day I normally talk to you guys. If you never watched any of my videos, basically I take, I don't know, between 30 minutes to an hour once a week, and I kind of tell you how my choices of life has panned out. I personally try to take the extremes and try to follow them. I try to have a passionate, kind of intense sort of life, but also balanced with pretty chill and tranquil things. So I don't take the average of an experience. If I'm gonna try to have an experience, I go hard in it, and I'll kind of talk about why I want to pursue something so in depth or so passionately, or I want to experience the extreme version of something if I'm really into it. But if I'm not really into it, then I just kind of don't do it. And that sort of kind of goes for everything. But so I don't know, I'm not like most people where I'm just kind of chill just to get by, or I want to steer my life in places, and I want to really immerse myself in the extremes of the passionate end of things, whether that be my career, how to have relationships, whether they be friendships or intimate relationships. I just want to, or casual even, you can have a kind of intense casual relationship. I learned that today. So I kind of choose my actions and put acts towards things that I want to pursue for those reasons. And it definitely plays out different than how I used to run my life. I used to run my life kind of not taking the safe path on purpose, but that I didn't really think about it. It was just kind of, if you thought about 3 or 4 different options, I would take the path of definitely least resistance, but I would take the path that had the likeliest outcome to not really screw up anything. But at the same time, I didn't have anything that was super great about it either. It was just kind of an average experience for an average choice, right? So I'm not a daredevil. I'm not looking for things out of the ordinary just because. I'm not like a rebel without a cause. I just really feel if I want to spend a little bit of my time doing something, I want to fucking do it right. I want to really experience it. I want to, at the end of my life, whether that be next week or that be years from now, I want to be happy that I did everything I could to have experiences that meant something to me. And whether that be in making a YouTube video and really trying to explain something that I found a pivotal moment, or it was something that was it really touched me. It wasn't just I spent my day on this earth and I wasted it. I really want to feel I did something at least a little bit good or interesting. For what I find interesting. You can't become an interesting person if you don't make interesting choices. And some people don't have any motivation to be an interesting person. And I just don't care about being an interesting person for other people. I care about being an interesting person for how I would want to live my life. Because I've already kind of figured out how it ends up, kind of, when you don't make choices that align with where you want to go. So anyways, that's kind of my synopsis of my channel. If you've never watched, it's I try to make choices that align with where I'm purposely trying to go. And this is kind of the fallout of that. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. So before I get into kind of the vibe of what happened this week, which was overall pretty good, I feel it was interesting. I'm going to kind of update you on the little things that I have here that I hadn't been talking about for the past couple of weeks. Oh, by the way, my hair is crazy like this because it's humid, super humid this summer. It's gonna rain today. I don't know if you have a lot of light. Can't really tell from the viewfinder or whatever. I can tell back when I edit the video to see if it's kind of dark. On the days that are kind of cloudy, my video always looks like it has like no light, because I just sit here in front of my porch window in my living room and I just kind of chill and talk with you. But today it looks like it's gonna rain. I'm still not used to the weather here, but like the humidity here is making my hair crazy. So I just decided just to put it up today. But it's a little bit cold, so I'm wearing, oh, I love this hoodie. I found it at a thrift, and my family is originally from Canada, and this is a Canadian Olympic sweatshirt. Like it's one of those like Team Canada thing. I don't know how they ended up with it here in the South, but I was like, wow, that's super cool. I've never found like a official apparel of the Olympic team, so I was like, yes, rock my Canadian roots here. So that's why we have a sweatshirt on. It's a little bit cold and it's cozy. So I hope you are warm or comfortable wherever you are and it's not too hot. Summer's like horrible. I know that's like a hot take. No pun intended. But I really honestly don't like summer. I love fall. I love like the end of summer right before fall too. Oh, it's like perfect. But right now, I'm too fair skinned to like just go outside and kind of like be okay with things. Speaking of skin, I had some more appointments. I feel like I always have appointments. But like once you reach your deductible, like pack those appointments in, right? So anyways, I'm trying to get the most out of my healthcare and to actually like go, because I need things kind of taken care of. And you don't get them taken care of if you don't keep going. It is annoying, but you kind of have to keep going. So anyways, I've been seeing the dermatologist lately. And so I had my little 3-month update. The last time that I went, if you have no idea, I went off the pill, the birth control pill, and I put in a copper IUD so I wouldn't have to have hormones that were not my own in my body. I just wanted to try and see if I felt better, like body-wise, and if my skin was gonna be, you know, better. I didn't know how to take care of my skin really at all when I was on birth control, because it sort of kind of did its thing for me as far as like keeping my skin good. Like it looked pretty good, but it wasn't really healthy at all. Like it looks worse, but it's actually healthier now, meaning like the texture of it and like the juiciness of my that sounds gross, but like the juiciness of my, like the plumpness of my skin, like my actual like texture and like how it like feels is much nicer. It used to be like very, very thirsty and just not good. All these like, I don't know, all these breakouts like kind of like waiting to happen. So anyways, I took myself off the birth control and decided to put in the copper IUD, and as I said, that doesn't have any hormonal acne kind of fighting things in it, and so it's just kind of like what my body wanted to do, and my body wanted to have a bunch of pimples on my face once I stopped that. So I was on the journey of trying to find out how to get clear skin again, because like I'd always kind of had pretty okay-ish skin when I was on birth control for years. So I wanted to get back to that because I'd gotten used to, you know, my confidence level or whatever when I had good skin and didn't really try for it. But now it was different because I actually had to learn about skin instead of just relying on this thing that kind of did it for me, right? It like did it for me, but like, you know, not to like a great degree. I didn't take care of my skin. I kind of took it for granted. I didn't know that, you know, you really should. So basically I went on this journey where I didn't want to get a dermatologist at first because like that costs money, and like, you know, I love a do-it-yourself moment and I love being like self-reliant, but I also want to take the path of least resistance and try like the easiest things first and then progress if I have to. That's sort of kind of how I do things sometimes, especially when it's like little things like this where it doesn't really matter philosophically what I'm doing. So skin is like, you know, I don't really have like a big hang up of, you know, the path. So I tried Adapalene, which is Differin gel, which used to be prescription only. And then I think maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that, maybe even less time, 3 years ago. Anyways, it's been on the market so that you can buy it at like a Target. You can buy it like online, like without a prescription. It used to be you could only buy it with a prescription. So basically it is a retinoid that will kind of fight your acne over time and clear your skin. And if your case is mild enough, it should be kind of good. Like it should be useful tool in getting clear skin. So I tried that, and for my particular acne, it didn't work well enough. I gave it 11 weeks, and I decided that I needed something stronger because I was like constantly getting, like I was getting noticeably better skin, but like the texture of it felt nicer, felt smoother in places. But what was happening was I went from getting like pimples kind of like, you know, around the time of my period and a little bit after, to like getting cysts on my chin all the time. It was like a purge that would just kind of like never stop. It wasn't like a normal purge where you get like a whole bunch of pimples at once and then the process kind of, you know, it clears out and then whatever. Like it kept getting really bad pimples underneath my skin that wouldn't come to a head. So it was like clearing up stuff, but it felt like it was getting stuck. Like it wasn't strong enough to like really bring it to a head. I don't really know if that's actually scientifically possible, but that felt like what it was doing. So I kind of gave it the, you know, the college try. I gave it like 12 weeks or whatever that you're supposed to give it to see if it's going to work for you. And it should kind of work for you if you know, if it's going to, within that specific amount of time. There is like that waiting period. So anyways, that was the path of like least resistance. You just go to a store, you pick that up, and then you kind of like give it 12 weeks to see if it's gonna do anything, if you're trying to like go down this adapalene path, different gel path. So anyways, I advanced to using Tretinoin 0.025 cream. That's what I went to a dermatologist, and that's what they said to use in conjunction with some spironolactone, and I was given, I think, the second to lowest dose of the spironolactone, and I didn't end up using that after a while because I didn't like the side effects of the pill that I had to take. But so I stopped that, but it was clearing up my skin a lot, and so then I was back to square one of just using the Tretinoin. And so what happened was I used Tretinoin, just the 0.025, which is the lowest that you can get, and I didn't have any purge problems at all. Had no purge problems when I went from Differin gel for 12 weeks to the Tretinoin, which is stronger, even though it's 0.025, which is the lowest dose you can get. I didn't have any kind of purge, repurge or whatever. Didn't make more pimples come out. I just could use it straight up every single night from the first time that I got it, and I thought that was great. But then it kind of like reached kind of like a plateau. I feel like I was still getting, it was noticeably different on my skin, like my skin has been noticeably clearer, but I still get pretty decent amount of breakouts. And so the last time that I talked with my dermatologist, this was a long story of that, but I kind of wanted to talk about it because I hadn't been talking about it for a while. It was just kind of like I'd still been doing it in the background consistently every night. It was part of like my routine now, but I hadn't really been kind of talking about it or showing you because I've been wearing makeup every video, just because I felt like, you know, my skin, I didn't wear a lot of makeup in the beginning when I was filming like this journey because my skin literally hurt. I had like so many cysts under my like skin and it just hurt to like touch it. So I just kind of felt like I should leave it alone. But now it doesn't have that problem, so I don't know. I like wearing makeup. I like getting ready for you guys. I like getting ready for myself. But yeah, so we decided to up my Tretinoin strength, and mind you, I'd been using some sort of retinoid. I was fully retinoid acclimated, which means like if I had first started just barely, it would be like a really intense kind of process for my skin to get used to it. It's like a very strong kind of medication. It's not as strong as Accutane, but it's like pretty strong. So this is 0.05. It is the middle kind of strength, I think. There's only one above it that I could probably get from my dermatologist, but I don't know if I really need to. So I'd heard before I went to the dermatologist that eventually, after a year's worth of using it, I'd only been using it for 3 months, but a year's worth of using it, you would end up at the same exact results, no matter kind of like what your strength was. You would just get the results kind of, you know, the more final results. I don't think you still get final results after like a year. It keeps like going. It's like the gift that keeps giving if you like use it consistently. But like it just makes your skin look better and better and better over time. But like for acne wise, I think like you would see improvement with the same strength after like a year of use, no matter what strength you picked to like start out with. So anyways, I was trying to like see the results faster, and I didn't want to have like frustrating, you know, pimples for like, you know, another 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever. So I bumped it up to the 0.5. So that's what I have now. And I've been using that for a couple of weeks now, but I wanted to talk about it because I didn't really see this a lot online. Remember how I told you that there was not like a horrible weird transition period between the adapalene, which you can get over the counter, and the first level of tretinoin that I got, which you have to have prescription. Like I didn't see another purge. You can purge, but I personally didn't see another purge. Maybe the strengths were just very similar, and it wasn't like a too big of a jump for my skin, but this, it was double the strength, and I need to go slow this time because I purged like immediately. I started having all these little tiny pimples that I haven't had for since the first time that I purged, and you guys saw that I was going on my date with that Ken guy, and that I showed you, you know, what my chin looked like when I was going on that date. And I was like, no, we're back to that again, no. So I like didn't want to, like, it feels like you're moving forward, taking like 1 step forward, but like 2 steps back. It's like, oh, I don't want to purge again. I really don't want to. So instead of using this every night, I use this twice a week. I use this Sunday and Wednesday. And then in between time, I don't use any actives, meaning like I don't use like anything that has any kind of like chemical in it. I just use really nicely moisturized stuff on my face to like help my skin barrier kind of like recover. Because even when I baby it, like just using it twice a week, like this morning I had like part of my like chin like kind of like flaking off just from using it twice a week. So it's like, wow. Pretty intense. So I'm kind of excited to see if it's going to like improve. Like right now I just see a little bit of a purge problem and peeling that I didn't really see with the other strength of tretinoin. So I can see that this is, you know, different. So hopefully I will have even better purge of the stuff that's kind of like stuck, because certain areas of my skin have just been stuck, and I really didn't like think that was possible. Like I thought that it would just like, you know, shed every 30 days and like that part would be, you know, fine. But yeah, it's been kind of clogged up a little bit. Anyways, that's my skin stuff. Like there's parts of my skin that are doing super well, and there's parts that are just kind of stubborn. But I think I'm on the right path as far as you know, using the tretinoin and stuff. I'm really happy with it. It did get me to use sunscreen, and I kind of hate sunscreen. But it did get me to use sunscreen, and it did get me to kind of learn about the process. So like my one act of like wanting to feel better in my body, kind of like overall, by going off the pill and trying to see what it felt like, and to like, you know, be kind of more me without something to regulate myself. I mean, it's perfectly fine to be on the pill, but I kind of just wanted to know what it was like to just be kind of natural like that. I don't know, I'm not really a crunchy granola person, but I just felt the need to experience that. So that one act has like, I learned about skin, and I learned about, you know, taking care of it, and I learned about, you know, what it's like to build a system that has people to help you with that. Like I didn't know all these things, and I didn't care about all these things, and I feel like I'm doing myself, you know, some sort of good justice here by like, I'm getting old. So I want to treat myself nicely, you know, with my skin, and I never really cared too much about it because, like I said, I took it for granted because my skin was never horrible on the pill. It was just something that happened after I went off of it. So I know that if there's like another person out there who would possibly be wanting to do this and possibly, you know, having the same problems, like they got some pimples after they stopped the pill, because their body kind of like a little bit went haywire. Like I've already figured out a little bit of the process, and so that's why I share it. I mean, my experience is not going to be, you know, your experience. You're probably gonna have different skin, or maybe you took care of it better, or maybe you already know how to, like, you know, make it clear without, you know, ever having to go to the dermatologist, or maybe the adapalene would just work for you. But my suggestion would be try the adapalene and give it a go, see if it works. It's pretty intense at first. Like you're gonna have a lot of pimples and it really sucks. You're gonna wanna cry and not do it. You're gonna wanna give up. But like honestly, this is 6 months of using some sort of retinoid, and like even though I have pimples still, my skin is just way different. And if I could do it all again, I would just do it just for that. So anyways, I wanted to talk about my dermatologist appointment and what we decided to do. So we decided to talk again in 3 months, and we would make a plan, Stan, for if I should go on Accutane after this 3 months or whatever. I personally don't think my acne is like bad enough to go on Accutane, and I kind of want to like only do it if it does clear up after a year. But we'll see. We'll see. So that's the Tretinoin. I love it. I love my little thing. So I wanted to share with you also the little thing that I do every single night since I've gotten it. I think I've had it for maybe about a week and a half, and I have chronic pain now from like wearing the wrong bra. This is too TMI, but I'm just gonna talk about it because I feel like the majority of the people that would be watching, at least until this point, like I do have, oddly enough, I do have like a lot of people that watch me that are like guys, and like thanks for finding me. I don't really know why you watch me, but thank you. So this whole thing is probably like, I probably lost them at like birth control, right? But if you're around, I'm sorry, this might be boring, but I wear the wrong kind of bras. I wear the kind of bras that are not supportive, and they're just kind of sexy most times. And because of that, like I really screwed up my back muscles. They're like super tight little things, and I have this problem where I don't really like to get massages because I don't really like to be touched by people like that. I have this weird thing that I just can't get around. So for whatever reason, I have an aversion to that, and so basically that makes me have tight muscles that I can't fix easily by myself. Because you know, if I just didn't have that, I could just go to the massage therapist and just get it worked on, or maybe the chiropractor or whatever. But I don't, and so I have to have a little workaround that like fits my needs. So I went to the doctors because I had this weird sensation in my arm. Kind of sounds like I would have a stroke, but it was like asleep for like a month, and I had like a pinched nerve because my back of my muscles or whatever were so tensed up. So I bought a Theragun. That worked a lot, but like I kind of got lazy and I didn't really feel like doing it, to be honest. I bought a heating pad that was like as wide as my back and kind of long, so I could just kind of like lay on it, and it would warm up my muscles and kind of bring the circulation back to that area of muscle that needed some more blood. I don't know, it worked pretty well, but it was just like a clunky process because I'd have to do it 3 times a day at first to like relieve that muscle, and I don't know, it's still really sore actually. Like a month and something later after I started the treatment. Anyways, it's not really what I want to talk to you about, but because I wear the wrong bra and because I don't do things the right way as far as going to the massage therapist and getting my like muscles worked on or whatever, I tried to do it my own way. And the doctor said, use some heat and get a massage. I honestly don't use the Theragun really at all. I feel like it's clunky, like I said. And so I don't know how I came upon this, but a couple of weeks ago, I watched some YouTube video. No, maybe I learned on it about this little spike thing from Pinterest. At nighttime, I lay in my bed with my, oh, I should show you. I lay in my bed at night and I start wearing my blue light glasses that I got. These are nice ones from Whoop. That's what this thing is, the Whoop. So they sell things that will help you to maximize your stats or whatever, and part of their little shtick is helping you block out blue light. And I was like, ugh. I only got these because I did a study for them, like I did the blood pressure like stress study or whatever for them, and this was like my reward to pick out something from their store. And like the stuff that was, you know, pick outable was kind of weird that time that I was, you know, able to get something. So I picked out what I thought was the most useful. So this is my first time trying blue light glasses, but that's what they look like. When I'm on a FaceTime with my dad, I usually wear them because we usually have FaceTimes after 7. So anyways, that was a long way of saying I found out about the Spike mattress by one night laying in bed with my little blue light glasses trying to relax. So I guess this is like, it's kind of like my self-care. I'm talking about how my self-care has been going, right? My little hacks of like how to be just better. These are the things that I personally decide to do with my time and kind of try them out. So I guess that's why we're talking about it. So we've done the skin thing. We're going to talk about the Spike thing. But I did want to touch upon, I do wear these from 7 until the time I go to bed. And it is a noticeable difference. I thought it was kind of really gimmicky, but I don't think you need the Whoop ones. I think that if you just buy, like the Whoop ones specifically, I think block out 60% blue light. But I don't know. Give them a try. I personally notice a pretty good difference. So I just enjoy wearing them. I feel like my stats the next morning are like a little bit nicer, a little bit better. And it's not just better on my Whoop. It's not like my Whoop knows that I've like worn them. And so they'll give me better stats to like reinforce their own products within their ecosystem, right? So like the only reason I can say that empirically is because I have the ring still, the Aura ring, and it at the same time that this gives me better readings when I wear the glasses, this will give me better readings. So they're independent of each other, of course. So anyways, I thought that I would mention that those little biohacking things, some of them actually do kind of work. So I think I did see this little Spike setup on Pinterest one night when I was just kind of like scrolling through and just kind of getting ready to like, I feel like that's how that's like my bedtime routine, to just get in bed with that and have some water by me with basil and mint. Try to drink a lot of water now and try to just relax, listen to some music. I super love Fiona Apple lately. Like she's my entire vibe. Criminal. And I don't know why I never listened to Sleep to Dream until now, but like today I was making my breakfast and it came up on like my YouTube mix. My like YouTube kind of just added that song from like forever ago. I'd never listened to it and I was like, oh, what is this? This is super good. So I think her lyrics are just fabulous. I feel like they're just so incredibly sassy. and like I don't really care what you think of me, and I'm just kind of gonna be a man eater. Like that whole era when she was like singing those songs. I haven't really, you know, delved too far into like her music, but I'm just like really loving the Fiona Apple Criminal vibe. I don't know why, but I am. So anyways, listen to some music, and then I found this and I was like, oh, do those things actually even work? Because as I said, like my whole like pinched nerve thing was still going on. I still didn't want to go to the massage therapist. So I went on Amazon, because you know, they have like different levels of like how much money you can really dump into these kinds of gimmicky things. And I was like, if it's like a huge gimmick, I don't want to dump like $100 just for like a luxury one. If like a better, you know, a cheaper one, like a spike is a spike, you would think. So yeah, I decided to go on Amazon and just find like a cheap one that looked kind of decent. So this one came with a pillow. So I'm only showing you the pillow, but there's like a mat that you lay on. It's an acupressure mat. I've been doing this once a night, right before I go to bed, right before I start my little, you know, get in bed and look at my Pinterest, listen to some Fiona Apple. I lay on this, and holy crap, it hurts. It does not feel good. And then like I set my timer, and it's like the longest 25 minutes of my life up until like 10 minutes before. It's like not bearable, but like it just is so strange. It becomes bearable, and it actually kind of sort of becomes nice toward the end. And it actually really does help the mobility of my stiff left side of my upper shoulder and neck, because it just kind of pressure points it, and it just feels good. So it hasn't really cured it. Like all of my little things that I have hasn't really cured it, probably because I continue to wear the wrong bra. But anyways, I've been wearing the wrong bra for like all of my life, so like I'm not too sure why the hell this just cumulatively happened to like get stiff neck and stuff now. But anyways, these are the things that I do. So like once my problem actually does go away, if it ever does, like this still is a nice relaxing thing to just do for yourself. You wouldn't think so. You'd think that laying on some plastic spikes, I do it without like a shirt on. I just like lay there, and so that the spikes can like super penetrate. So I'm at that level where I do it every night, lay on it, commit to it, commit to it hard, and I see what happens. So afterwards I feel kind of like amazing. It feels like, I don't know, it literally just feels like so like light in my upper body, but I have like dents in my skin. Like it kind of like feels uncomfortable, but I keep doing it. Like I do it every night. Like I almost kind of can't wait for, you know, to get on it and like to have that hurting process. You would not think so, but I actually kind of look forward to like the pain, and then like the warm kind of tingly pleasure after. So yeah, I'm not sure what that all means as far as how my biohacking is going, but like I'm just trying to tell you that I'm doing all these little self-care things and just trying them out and seeing how they go, and I'm just kind of happy with it. But I have one more thing to kind of talk about, and then we'll talk about how my I guess interpersonal relationships are going. So I have the second bottle of crap that they sent me for my research project. So I'm going to use this particular bottle for a month, and every single day, twice a day, I will fill a little syringe that looks like this. Doesn't have any needle or anything. It just like is the thing. It's like the apparatus to get it out of the bottle. So I fill that with some liquid, a set amount, and then I put that set amount in this little guy. And then once I have that, I use their like really sketch atomizer. I don't know if you can really see that because I don't know if it's going to focus, but I use this little baby syringe to get some in there, and then I put that on there, and it's an atomizer. and then it creates a little spray that goes into my nose, and it burns like holy hell for like, I don't know, a good 5-6 seconds. And then I just go about my day, and I have to do this twice a day. Put the little atomizer crap up my nose. And I actually hate doing that, but, and I don't notice any difference, but I do in the name of science. So that is the research project and how that part is going. But they did give me a smell kit for free, and they gave me 100% pure essential oils to use, and this is my smell kit. So I've got lavender, clove bud. I always save the clove one for my last smell. We've got the eucalyptus and then lemon. So I have used a smell kit kind of trainer thing about a year ago when I wanted to like taste my birthday cake. I like trained my nose and my smell or whatever maybe 2 or 3 weeks consistently before my birthday so that I could enjoy my birthday cake that I had made myself when I lived in the desert still. But that was like the last time that I did it. And then I knew from that experience that it doesn't fix it for me. It just kind of, I get a improvement in my taste and smell. Like I'll have like more nuanced taste and smell rather than my baseline of what it is now after it was screwed up. And then it goes away. It's not long lasting. It's not like a permanent fix for me personally, but I've committed to use these twice a day for 3 months, the same as this crap. And so far I have noticed a noticeable difference in the taste and smell, but I'm not excited because I know it's just gonna go away, or at least I think it will. I don't think it really matters if I'm gonna use it for 3 months. I think I have to do something different. But I wanted to tell you about a little bit of something that I one night I researched the possibilities, because it's been kind of a while since COVID, and I was like, I'm not the only one who has this problem, right? Like there must be something that other people know of that, you know, they have options now probably. So I researched like how to fix it, and there's 2 things that I wanted to tell you, just kind of I guess for fun. There was one night where I laid in bed and I was looking at things, and I came across this chiropractor in Texas and this YouTube video on how she used this thing to reset the base neck muscle bone thing. I don't know. She uses this gun, this like little like gun thing that has, I don't know, it's not like an actual gun where you like die. It's like this little, I don't know, apparatus that shoots something into like this ball. Kind of looks like a Theragun, but it's not. It's like this ball that like goes into like a specific pressure point or bone thing on your neck, and it like resets it. I don't know all the science behind it, but she said that it takes between 6 sometimes all the way up to 24 sessions with this little gun thing on your neck that actually like brings people to tears because it like hurts, but like it's worth it because immediately after sometimes it's fixed, and then, you know, between 6 to 24 times, like eventually you'll get like your sense of smell back. And I don't really know why it's in the neck, and like, you know, you'd have to like research it, but there's a chiropractor in Texas from Prince Health and Wellness that does this. And she like if I get super desperate and like none of this works for me, like maybe I'll go do that. Maybe I'll go get her like to shoot her little apparatus in my neck, and we'll see. But yeah, she's I guess fixed a bunch of people. And then there's this other thing called SGB, stellate ganglion. I'm sorry, I'm super butchering that. I will leave the link down in the description box if you're actually kind of interested. But there's this thing where like people either are injecting they're injecting something into like some part of like your olfactory situation in your nose. And it does something with the inflammation. It does something where it changes how your smell and taste processes. And I guess after 2 or 3 times of getting this injection into like your nose, like your nasal cavity or whatever, into that like gland or something, this SGB, that people recover from their problem, their sense of loss and of taste and smell. So it kind of does something to rework what wasn't working. Because like your body like can still do it, it just is not doing it properly. It's like distorted. So anyways, there is a stem cell one at the same time that does this. So all hope is not lost. I see that there have been advancements since I first like kind of Googled, you know, how to fix this. Like it's not just like open YouTube and find like the burning orange thing. Like it has progressed since then to like something kind of scientific. So anyways, I found those 2 things, like the chiropractic thing that sounds like a little hokey, but there's, you know, videos of it, people like working. And then there's this where like I don't know if it's surgical or what, but like, yeah, I think you have to be put under, I don't know, under local anesthetic. Yeah. Into this SGB thing. A bundle of nerves of the sympathetic nervous system located on both sides of the neck. I don't know. So anyways, if you suffer from that or know somebody who's suffering, maybe that might be interesting. But for now, I have, I guess, 2 more months of this study. I honestly don't think that it's really helping me all that much, but I'm just kind of interested to participate, so that's that. So I think this week, the main thing that was happening was, I think I was getting to experience finally the fruits of my labor, I guess. Continuously, I have made choices that line up to what I want from people and what I want in a relationship with another person kind of right now, sexually and kind of close-wise, like the connection that I kind of want. And I've been making similar choices to like over time consistently and with the same person, so that I'm dialing in the results of that. Does that make sense? If I was kind of wishy-washy and changed my mind or changed my boundaries or changed my limits or changed what I wanted from them, right? Like they could get different cues from me, but like the cues have all been consistent over time, given the same thing over time, reinforced. And it's reinforced from my side, and it's like I'm getting the feedback of that, I guess. I'm getting the fruits of my labor back from that consistency. Consistency breeds eventually some good kind of results, I feel, or like results that actually were goal-oriented to begin with. That kind of makes sense. Like you only get to a place if you've consistently tried to get there. So it's really fun. It's really fun to see, because like my vulnerability with these people that I've chosen to kind of pursue this with, it's allowing for their vulnerability in different ways. And I don't mean emotional vulnerability, just like vulnerability with like letting me see them how they are, without fear of me rejecting them, and vice versa. There's a lot of dynamic that goes into stuff like that when you have a close relationship. Yeah, you can be vulnerably emotional or emotionally vulnerable, but you can also be sexually vulnerable. You can be just vulnerable, like human to human. Letting somebody see you for who you are and knowing that it's not going to scare them off, really. That's kind of huge. And so because I have that kind of intense relationship with these types of people, the kind of intensity that I'm getting back from them met my effort that I put in. And I'm kind of like excited. I'm excited because I finally am getting more towards what I've been wanting. And I'm just so excited because I've never got to this place with anybody really yet, for, you know, as long as I've been trying to figure out how to have a passionate relationship that I could learn from and that mattered to me in the ways that I wanted it to matter. And to like have my body and my mind be like kind of satisfied in what that was like. I've never really had that at all. I've never experienced that, and I'm just getting to be able to kind of experience that with people. And I'm seeing that it takes effort on my part to like open up the door of like, hey, we can do this, right? And like I'm setting out the actions that allow for that. And based upon who they are, they'll either see that I'm setting that up and they'll kind of go with it. They'll run with it, because I've picked people who also are intense. I've picked people that also have similar goals. But just because you have similar goals does not mean you're going to end up, you know, having that goal be met. Like, you could have different pathways to get to that goal, or your pathway could be super incompatible. But it's kind of fun right now because I'm exploring the same pathway with these people. These people are very receptive to the path that I've laid out. They're like, yeah, that's great. And I'm beginning to kind of like see like the fruits of my labor a little bit with that. And it's super exciting for me because I never thought that I never thought that I would get here. I always wanted to get here, but I never thought that it was possible. And it's one of those things that's like, I've been laying the foreground for this for such a long time. I've been becoming kind of like confident enough to like allow for this vulnerability sharing, this like trust fall exchange basically that's happening right now with these people. And like without having to invest years of trust with them, right? Like these people like could come and go whenever. They're not guaranteed to like stay in my life. But I still wanted to be able to explore with them in an authentic way that felt really like connected in the way that we both like. So like that was the whole thing of like, how do I get what I want from people without having to invest like 20 fucking years in them? Like you get to a point of like, you're just so comfortable. And I was like, I need to fast track this. And so that was why I needed to introduce the sharing of the vulnerability and the openness. Like I have to literally be vulnerable with them and allow for the vulnerability to come back. Like it's a process, it's a chosen process. And then you have to have the confidence to follow up your actions and to like pursue that. Like you have like it's so intricate on how to fast track this relationship for intensity purposes. I don't know if I'm doing a good way of explaining it, but like I think I just wanted to kind of tell you that I'm finally starting to learn what I've been wanting to learn for a long time with my relationships with guys. And I'm seeing that like the work that I've been doing for a long time is like playing off, and I'm seeing that I have skills that I can use to keep comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And it's fun because it's not uncomfortable. It's fun because it's intensely nice and it's so satisfying. So anyways, I just wanted to say, if you don't see results, it's because of whatever you're trying to do. It doesn't have to be what I'm trying to do. If you don't see results, just know that there's a system working to like, if you keep going towards this one thing consistently, eventually your little system that you're building, consciously or not, the little system that you're building will support you eventually. and it will be just like a nice little safety blanket when there isn't really a safety blanket in this situation. So I've chosen a path that's specifically scary because I want it to be something worth pursuing. And this has been totally like, it's just been really enjoyable to like watch it progress with what I'm doing right now. So I just wanted to tell you that it's been going pretty well for that. I know that's very, very, very vague, but like, it's fine. I think you get the point. The point is, I'm happy watching the next stage happen. I've been ready for this next stage to like come to fruition for a long time. But I'm seeing that just because you're ready for the next stage doesn't mean that you have the skills in order to like make the next stage kind of smooth. But like my next stage came like so late in my I'm ready for it kind of phase that it has been kind of smooth. It's been going really well, and I haven't freaked out. You know how like if you progress too fast, there's like a freak out point sometimes. I don't know if I deserve this promotion. I don't know if I'm smart enough for this job. I don't know if I'm good enough for this guy that I'm dating, blah, blah, blah. If you progress too fast, even if you want it, even if it was intentional, like even if it's part of the goal, it's part of the process, you just know it. Sometimes there's a freak out stage where like you feel imposter syndrome. At least that used to happen to me. It still does happen to me, but I was expecting to have an imposter syndrome stage, especially in the dating world where I didn't really progress too much towards what I actually wanted. I just stayed in like the get to know you phase like a really long time, and I didn't really get to like cultivate some sort of relationship, even if it was for short-term things. I never got to like try out my skills. I never got to like test out the next phase. And I stayed stuck so long that I was just ready. Like I just gained enough experience in the confidence that I needed to bring from within me and to show to another person. Those two things are separate. You can be super confident inside, and then it's kind of like another skill in order to be confident to someone else outwardly and to uphold all the things that you kind of have mentally going on. And to be consistently the same inwards and outwards. It's like, I feel like that's a two-step process. I stayed so long in the process, like building up these skills, that once I actually got to like the next stage of like the building of the relationships that lead to like the passionate connection that I wanted, I didn't have a freak out. And I know it's like not been a long time and I could have a freak out, but I'm just kind of like happy like learning in this stage now, and it's great. I find it really, really amazing. It's like very eye-opening, and it's just like super exciting, and it just feels good. It doesn't feel scary. I was expecting it to be like, am I really, you know, I made this bed, do I want to lie in it, that kind of thing. But I'm like, no, I want to lie in that bed for a long time. That bed's good. So yeah, that's how that's going. So I need to go talk to my dad. I told him that I would call him after I made my video. So I wanted to just say that, and I wanted to say hey to you guys. I wanted to update you on all my things that were probably kind of boring. I'm sorry, but I think that I think it's important to like kind of talk about like what you're doing for yourself and how you're like treating yourself nicely. So however you're treating yourself nicely was probably going to be different than laying on a spike mat and putting like water that burns up your nose. But you know, it's always going to look a little different for like what you are doing. But just know that when you're building this routine for yourself, you're also like, you're not just doing things, you're like subconsciously like treating yourself nicely. You kind of are telling yourself that you are worth those actions, you are worth that time that it took to do. And I think that's super important, to just have that positive reinforcement wheel of like, okay, I'm going to put actions towards this out of like 24 hours in a day. I'm going to give myself like a little bit of time to do whatever I need to do to make my body or mind feel better or good, you know, to like maintain that, to give yourself permission to like indulge in the things that you want to try for yourself to be better, and to not just give all of your time in your day to somebody else, or like the pursuit of something that doesn't mean anything. I think you should be the nicest to yourself, mentally and physically, that you can possibly be. It's always a process, of course, but once you develop like those little habits, it's just kind of nice. So I wanted to share with you my little habits of how I've been kind of treating myself nice. I've never treated myself badly, but I definitely intentionally try to treat myself nice, and I just wanted to kind of make it, I guess, normal. I don't know. The way in which I do it, probably not normal, but like I said, everybody has their own kind of thing that they want to try out for themselves. So I'm interested in what you guys are up to. So if you have like a pretty solid night routine, day routine, something that you do for yourself, I want to know what it is. I'm always interested in what people are doing. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.